We had a 6-figure Black Friday last year. And that was the first time I ever paid myself. I wrote myself my first paycheck, and I've continued to been able to do that.
If you're building a DTC brand in the early stages, then you already know this part is nothing like Instagram, right? It's late nights, hard decisions, cash flow anxiety, and just trying to build systems before everything breaks. Today's guest started in her kitchen. She was a derivatives trader at Morgan Stanley prior to this, and in fact, the only woman in a team of 13 men. She left Wall Street after maternity leave because her daughter's eczema needed a solution that the market simply was not offering. And so she made one. Harri Magaldi is the founder of My Neighbors, a regenerative skincare brand built on beef tallow, 7 ingredients or fewer, and single origin sourcing from Hudson Valley farms. Only 4 months after she launched, a buyer from Anthropologie found her at a farmer's market, and now she's in nearly 200 stores. Product is on Terrain's best-selling beauty item, and she just opened a flagship in Hudson, New York. Now, we're going to walk through what it actually costs to scale a value-first brand, and whether a Wall Street brain and a farmer's market soul can actually coexist under pressure. This is Operator to Operator. Hi, I'm Shope, the co-founder of Alter Aesthetics Company and the founder of Building Block Digital. Welcome to the Margin Room. Harri, how are you doing?
I'm good. I love your intro is so good. I'm like, I need to save that as like a voicing for one of my ads. It's great.
Listen, I will send you the link and use it however you want. Because it truly is an amazing story. Like derivatives trading, very different from DTC, I would imagine.
Yeah, I people love this story. Trading, I did work in sales as well at one point, to rendering beef fat. Definitely a lot different. But yeah, just a couple things. We've grown to about 500 stores now. So it's actually been like kind of nuts. And then in 2027, we'll be upwards of over 1,000. So there are some pretty exciting things on the pipeline. But yes, definitely very different.
And it's been 3 years, right? 3 years?
2.5 years. Yeah.
The obvious question is, did you expect this? But the obvious answer is no, you didn't expect this.
No, I didn't expect it. I mean, I'm definitely a really hardworking person, but I think that I got a little lucky in terms of the timing with beef tallow and like actually just being someone I think people are gravitating to just like more transparency in what they consume and also what they apply on their skin. And being
Absolutely.
a mom that actually just had a problem, I think it is something that is more relatable and more trustworthy. And I think that consumers want items that they believe in the sourcing and the person kind of behind it and the story, and building in public, I think has really helped as well. And just being honest about like things that worked and things that didn't. And I have a really amazing team that is helping me too, like my Gen Z girls that keep me young and hip.
Right.
Yeah.
So on that note about being transparent and building in public, that's what I love. That's what we're all about. Kind of give me the headline right now. We know what's working. On track to be in 1,000 stores. Really hockey stick growth. So we know what's working. Tell me what's quietly stressing you out now.
So we've like outgrown a bunch of spaces pretty quickly. So, I mean, I started in my kitchen. My husband was really annoyed because obviously beef tallow going down your kitchen drain is probably not the best thing. Many late nights I used to label all my own things, and now everything's like screen printed. So just kind of like streamlined a little bit better. But we manufacture everything in-house, and with growth and manufacturing as well as, doing all of it. We don't have a 3PL. We ship everything ourselves too. We do have distribution now for national grocer, which helps, but we still have to make all those products to be palletized to send out. So we moved into our first studio in like October of 2024. We launched in May of 2024, and then we outgrew that by January, and then we moved into a warehouse that was 1,000 square feet. We lasted like 6 months in there. I gave birth and had to move like that same week into our new space.
Oh, wow.
Second baby. And my baby was at this lab that we're currently in next to our flagship store since like day 8 of being alive till 6 months with us here, because I believe that want to be separated from my kids, and I shouldn't have to do that if I own
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
business. And there's actually other babies here sometimes too. Uh,
Amazing.
but we are now in the process of buying a bigger space because we need it for this national growth that's happening in early March. So it's a way bigger space. It's about 8,000 square feet,
Wow.
which will allow us to grow. But I think that's kind of honestly been like the thing that stresses me out. And then also just like once you kind of get above a certain threshold in terms of revenue with cosmetics and skincare, there's different regulations that come into place. So, now what I'm focusing on is getting all of those compliance like procedures in place so that that small business exemption that won't exist next year for me, which is a good problem to have, is also very expensive to have that compliance program in
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the decision to produce in-house, is that an intentional design, or is it
Yeah.
something that you were kind of like constrained by?
No. So, well, kind of in the beginning, like people weren't really manufacturing tallow in big labs. And now they are. We actually have labs reaching out to us all the time saying like, we know that you're selling a lot. We've heard from people what kind of numbers you're doing. We should make your tallow for you. And I've actually asked them a bunch of questions and said like, well, where is the suet from? Who are you sourcing it from? They can't answer any of those questions. And I just don't believe in that kind of transparency. I have intentionally wanted to keep my products in-house for as long as I can, and I continue to make the investment to be able to do that because it allows for like transparency and supply chain to be way more clear for my end consumer. I also love working with local farms and being able to kind of help my local economy as
Yeah.
much as I
Yeah.
can because we have this really cool thing going on where we buy a byproduct, which is the suet, which we render in-house with like our own proprietary rendering system that we have created over the last 2.5 years. But we buy this byproduct that they often couldn't sell. And it's marketable price. So, it varies every time we buy it. And we then also sell it to the farmers at wholesale as a finished good. So they can make money from us twice. So they sell it in their farm store, but they also sell us the byproduct. So I love that. Like, when I used to buy and sell bonds or a derivative, didn't make me feel as good as being able to help an American farmer who like actually is putting food into people's bellies, but also taking really good care of the animals. So we really care about regenerative agriculture. We're really lucky that the Hudson Valley has this like amazing mecca of regenerative, where they're caring about things like carbon sequestration, but also animal husbandry in general. Grass-fed and grass-finished animals live longer. And they eat what they were intended to eat, and they are not fed with MGMO soy
Yeah.
or corn,
Or yeah.
which really makes a difference in the smell of beef tallow, but also in the animal's life, which I actually think is the most important part.
Right. I mean, imagine that. What you eat affects how you live.
Yeah,
Right.
it's funny people kind of like live by that all the time, right? But I do, yeah, I mean, I do think that the consumer in general
Yeah.
cares so much about what's going in their body, and I think that trend is obviously going onto what's on your body too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So yeah, let's rewind the clock a little bit, because obviously you know a lot more about this field and the industry. How much of this did you know before getting into that?
literally nothing. So I mean, I am someone like I don't wear makeup. I'm not someone that's like in the beauty space that like loves like if I, go to something fancy, I'll put a little makeup on to make myself look a little bit more presentable, but it's not something that I wear on a regular basis. So it's never been something that I really cared about. I just like washed my face at night and used like CeraVe, like
Mm-hmm.
super basic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when I had a baby, I really realized that I should care a little bit more about what I'm putting on their skin.
Right.
And I think kind of having that extension that wasn't just me anymore. It was like
Right.
about someone
Right.
else. And then my little girl, Wilhelmina, who's now 3.5, I'm the best big sister. She had eczema at about month 7. So I had actually I had resigned from my Wall Street job to stay home with her and just try and be a stay-at-home mom for a few years. And then this kind of naturally happened because I had a problem and I was giving it away to local moms in the community. But we had sold our house in Connecticut. We lived in we had a weekend house in Hudson that we used to rent out as like an Airbnb property.
Yeah.
We moved up here full time. so I could take that break and not work
Yeah.
for like 5 years and just be as present as I could. And, I built this company with her being with me for the first 16 months, like before getting childcare. So, I mean, now I have a full-time nanny and she's amazing. And my kids get to come visit me at
Yeah.
work every day. And my little one was at work every day for 6 months. Yeah, it kind of just happened like
Yeah.
organically. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So much there to unpack. What did people say when you told them you wanted to leave? You wanted to quit Morgan Stanley to go be a stay-at-home mother.
So at that point, I was actually working at UBS at the end. So Morgan Stanley was like my first stint in
UBS.
the
Okay.
street. Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, that's the European bank instead. So they were really respectful of it. I mean, I think that my friends in like the Connecticut area were very shocked. They're like, "You're gonna change your mind. Like, I can't believe you're gonna sell your home to do this and like move upstate. Like, you're gonna get bored being at home." I just like kind of politely said like, "No, like it's not really up to you." And
Right.
me and my husband was actually really proud of me for making that decision. I actually was the breadwinner before, so it was a big sacrifice for us as a family, but a sacrifice like worth it. Like you're
Yeah.
never gonna get that time back with your little ones, and like you can
Yeah.
always make more money. And my
Yeah.
neighbors is going to be way more profitable and way more lucrative than that job would have been, which is
Yeah.
crazy to say at this
Which
point.
is the
Yeah, my husband's like, "Oh, like, that's insane." Like, obviously you think like Wall Street, "Oh, that's gonna be where the money is." But in a day of, AI and everything kind of going on right now, honestly, being in CPG, my husband's putting our eggs in that basket.
in that basket. Got you.
Yeah.
It's interesting
He's in
that
tech, so
he's in tech.
yes, so he's in tech.
Gotcha. It's interesting that you made the sacrifice to be at home during those
Yeah,
very precious years,
yeah,
and in the end, you're going to end up getting both, basically, the time
yeah,
with your little one
yeah, which is
and
really
the
awesome. I
financial
mean,
upside.
I'm definitely not a stay-at-home mom now, but, I probably work more than I ever did, but I do get to go home at 4:30 and be with my girls, and I then work again at 8 o'clock when they're in bed, which
Yeah,
can suck, in terms of, like, the amount of hours that I work, but it feels really good to be, not a serial code number at a bank and
yeah,
actually be building something and building a team and, like, being able to, um, grow, like,
yeah,
what we're doing here.
yeah. No, absolutely. So you mentioned you were giving it away to other mothers. So when you first started, were you thinking business or were you just
No, like, this
at
was,
the top?
like I was in a mother's circle, I was, like, giving it to them for their babies, like, for diaper cream and for any baby that had kind of, like, skin ailments, and then I was giving it away to moms in Darien, Connecticut, and New Canaan, like, kinda where we used to live, which was, like, very much not really our scene. We bought that because we thought, like, "Oh, the schools are good," but my husband really didn't like it. He thought it was too snooty, but we still have some really amazing friends. And I was giving it to them, and they were like, "Wait, I'm putting this on my face. Like, this stuff is good. Like, can you give me, like, 20 of these for Christmas? Like, I'll buy it." And I
Wow.
was like, "No, just have it. Like, it's in, like, an ugly mason jar, like, just take it." And then, I was like, "Maybe I should just, like" my baby's a good napper. It's really worked. Like, no one really knows about beef tallow. Maybe I can just, like, dream up some branding. And I was thinking at one point, like, I was gonna maybe open up, like, a non-perishable goods kind of, like, pantry up here. So
Mm-hmm.
I made an LLC that was called the Neighbor's Pantry, because I was gonna have, like, neighboring products in. And then I was like I'd already kind of, like, started working on the graphics for that, and I was like, "Maybe I should just call it, like, My Neighbor's Tallow." And I originally was called My Neighbor's Tallow, and we rebranded, about a year ago to just My Neighbor's Co. because we do have products that are vegan as well. So we're just My Neighbors. But I launched at the farmer's market. I actually used to be like the cancellation girl. So anytime there was a cancellation last minute at the farmer's market, they would give me a ring and say, like, "Do you wanna come?" And so
Ah, I get
the
you.
first day that I was there, because it's actually quite coveted of a spot to be at the Hudson Farmers Market. Like, some of these farmers markets in Brooklyn and stuff too are, like, quite hard
Got
to
you.
have a permanent spot.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
and so I made, like, $4,000 the first day. And it's like, it's 9 till 1. So my husband was, like, laughing.
What?
He was like, "Holy shit, like, you can't not make money." And, like, I'm charming, but I also think that people love the fact that I was there with my baby and, like,
Yeah.
photos of like before and after. And I just started doing farmers markets, and then I kind of got invited to more like bougie makers markets, and that's how
Mm,
it kind of happened.
got you.
Yeah.
Would you say you've always had a sales gene in you,
Oh yeah,
or
sure. So like
towards?
I started out as like electronic sales derivatives trading, and then I'm so chatty and like personable that I actually moved to sales.
Got you.
And I've always been kind of like gift of the gab kind of person. Like, I mean, you know, when you're a little kid and like you sell like wrapping paper and like all those things and those catalogs, and you're like have to
Yeah.
walk door to door. Like I was
Yeah.
always like fucking crushing that. Um, like guilt tripping everybody to buy the holiday chocolates. So, and I was always very like um extroverted. So like when a new neighbor moved to the neighborhood, I would like knock on their door and be like, "Hey, do you have a pen and paper? Like let me give you everybody's phone number from memory and their names."
Wow.
Because I was like a little weirdo, but kind of funny. So my mom always jokes around about how like I memorized every single neighbor's phone number and their full names when I was like 7.
Wow.
And I would
Wow.
go over and tell the new people who everyone was and what their deal was. Like, who is this girl? She needs to be, she needs something else to focus on.
It's something. Um, so at any point in time, was there ever a point in your life where you saw yourself striking out on your own, or was this just,
I mean,
because it
I
seems to me
really
like you had
like,
all of the constituent parts?
yeah, I mean, I basically, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I studied statistics and psychology at university. I applied for one super day at Morgan Stanley and I somehow got it. With the gift of the gab, I was like, you could hire like, you know, 10 kids from Penn that all studied finance, or you could hire me who thinks a little differently. And they like took that, and they hired me, which was great.
Yeah,
It
you
was, like
you got
definitely
it.
like a little bit spicy. They called me the dark horse when they picked me, which was kind of funny.
Hmm.
And then I've always been kind of like I always got along really well with guys because I'm quite like blunt and I don't know, more tomboyish. And so I could really hold my own. I was actually called like a pit bull, which was kind of funny. And I have a pit bull, Benny, who's the best.
Oh, wow.
My rescue pit. But yeah, I could stand up for myself and I didn't really take any
Yeah.
shit when most women in those roles like kind of get treated badly in the beginning. I'd be like, don't talk
Hmm.
to me like that, or I'm not going to do anything for you.
So did that happen to you? Did you have to assert your
Yeah,
authority?
I mean, I had, and it's actually funny. He's actually an investor now in my company, but and we're like
Wow.
friends, but and he'll find this funny if he ends up like listening to this, but he was like pretty rude to me about like a client that actually was kind of like a dick to me, and he was rude about the client's behavior to me on like this on like the big hoot, which is basically like the walkie-talkie on the trading floor, so everyone can hear it.
Right.
So he kind of like gave me a new one, like ripped me a new one, and I walked over to his desk and I just said, "If you ever fucking talk to me like that again, I will never bring a trade into this desk again." And
Oh,
and this was like my second day, and he was like, "I like this girl. She's scary. Like, let's go." And like
sounds like a scene out of a
we're now
movie.
really good friends. But I mean, it's funny. Like, you watch like some of the trading shows, like industry. Like, I never worked in the UK for it, even though I'm from the UK. New York is like really not like that, but it is similar kind of dynamic in terms of just like how rude people can be. But there's
Really?
also some diamonds in the rough.
Right. Yeah. But it sounds like you were cut for it.
Yeah, but I mean, I like to consider myself a lot nicer now.
Is that
And
just time away from the from the?
I just think it's like I don't have to kind of like have that level of like cortisone anymore. Like I'm
Mm,
yes, there's things that are stressful, like oh, we're like oh, you know, we've got like these pallets to pack, or you know, some grocery stores looking for like tons of free items to sign the deal. Um, but I think it taught me kind of just to be a little bit more resilient. And honestly, you catch more like honey with you catch more like
Eyes with
honey
honey.
with being sweet, you know, like it's
Yeah.
I think actually being kinder has actually like allowed the business to people genuinely like us because like we're sweet and we actually are like good at being like we have good customer service, and it's often one of us three like actually talking to the customer. We don't have an AI bot doing it. So I think it really lands better. And I think it allowed the company to do better too because we're just genuine.
That's incredible. Um, let's stick on this connection between your derivatives past and your
Mhm.
current, just for a little more.
Yeah.
Um, how does your brain show up, and how does like that brain show up in how you run My Neighbors day to day now?
I mean, I definitely think that I'm very analytical in terms of um how we look at like our numbers, like our LTV, our CAC, like all of that kind of stuff. I'm really my favorite part of the week is when I have my call with my fractional CFO and we go through like the velocity and kind of like where our TTM is and kind of just like forecasting. So I think that part, but I think also just um the sales part of the derivatives was very much like it can be a long process of getting a deal done and like knowing how to kind of keep up those relationships to make sure that people, keep you on their mind when they're going to be going through that reset. So like
Talking
especially
about buyers here.
yeah, buyers. So I
Um,
think that it's a similar thing where it's like there is a long courting process in terms of
uh-huh,
like sometimes when you're like a new account, even on Wall
uh-huh.
Street, you really have to kind of like show your worth for a while before someone takes you seriously. So,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
example, like we'll be in like an innovation set for say like 55 stores for a grocery chain and like we really help with demoing and we really, really push. And that's what I would have done kind of on Wall Street too, is I would have like continued to engage that person every single day until they took it
Right.
seriously. And now we'll be in we're now in the full set. So like we're now in all of their stores, 110, and we're a real item. We're not just something that's like an innovation set because of that determination and like continuing to be hardworking.
Yeah. So do you find a tension between this quantitative metrics driven way of growth and the brand, which seems to be very community, slow living identity rooted? Like, is there a tension between them, or are they just two sides of the same?
They're definitely different. But I think that I have to be careful about that because I think
Hmm.
that especially like the way Meta works right now, like Meta works more on a volumes play in terms of like how many ad creatives you can kind of pump out. But I don't want to make my community led brand, which I really care about that community,
Hmm.
think that this is only about the numbers. And so I think it's a lot of like, yes, I will make maybe more meta ads because I need to right now to be able to scale, but I continue to make a lot of like founder led content that talks about like, hey, this is growth because of you guys and like you guys have done this, but what we're not going to do is we're not going to sell out to a big lab. We're going to reinvest what you guys have helped us build into getting a bigger facility to be able to continue to do what we're doing in the same way and hire more people in this local community to make it what it is. Um, yeah, so I think it's continuing to make the authentic content and kind of educate the community on these business decisions.
How tightly are you holding on to I'm never going to sell to a big conglomerate? Like, is that?
I mean, I think I probably will sell my neighbors at some point, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a big conglomerate. I think it would be a strategic partner. And now that I have the bug for like entrepreneurialism, like I
Hmm.
already have other ideas that I want to do. So I originally, when I started the brand and I kind of thought this is going to just be like something that I never sell.
Right.
But I also think that there's really smart ways to kind of think about your businesses too. Like your D2C business and your wholesale business can be completely separate.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
can sell
Yep.
certain parts of your businesses. You can also have things that are iterations of a business that kind of can branch off. So like with my neighbors as a concept, like it can be so many different product lines. It doesn't necessarily need to be skincare. It could just be things that are better for you. So like we're now going into better for you home. We're making like linen sprays, diffusers, and candles.
Yep.
So
Yep.
there's a lot of other things that we can do that kind of allows the company to grow in different ways.
Different
But
type. Yeah.
I definitely think that now that I've done this once, and obviously I'm still doing it, I have the bug to want to do it again, but be able to use these resources and these skills that I've learned to do it even better.
Hmm.
But it wouldn't be in
Makes
skincare
sense.
at all.
But it really is skincare. Makes sense. Okay, I'm glad you brought up DTC versus retail because it seems as though you stumbled into retail. Is that a fair way
Yeah,
to?
I mean, I also think it's kind of rare. So, like, I think that most
Yeah,
brands will have a bigger D2C business than wholesale.
yeah.
And the great thing about making our products in-house is that our margins are really good, so we can wholesale. So, like, our margins are in the 90s, which is
Wow,
insane.
wow,
Obviously, those will
wow.
probably go down as we scale just because of like the cost of labor. But
Yeah.
some of our products are like a 97% margin, and some of them are like a 91. Um, so I'm like, oh, that 91. That's really great, and that allows you to be able to do things like mass grocery
Yeah,
you if you want. So, yeah, our business it depends on the month, but, like, mostly right now, it's probably about a 70-30 split between wholesale and D2C.
got
D2C is
you.
smaller, but I do think that the more stores that you're in, the more times that I actually kind of thought of wholesale in the beginning as a marketing play. So,
Mm,
wholesale really gets your D2C business going if you can do it in the beginning because people recognize you and have authority behind it. So,
right.
like, as soon as we got that one big door with Anthropologie and Terrain, it really allowed us to use that as a bargaining chip to have people take us seriously at other wholesale accounts.
Yep.
Um, but also we could then use like, we're the best sold item at Magnolia Home as an ad. So things like that too really allows for people to really believe in the brand and trust it.
So did you in fact see a rise in DTC as retail has grown?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But I do think that with some of our bigger partners happening next year, sale will be even larger. So I think that, yes, maybe over the next couple of years, it will end up being that they do kind of catch up because people will be able to get it in most towns, hopefully in America that have one of these types of stores. And I can't
I'm
say
he-
that I can't say the name of it yet because it's not
in the back of my mind, I'm hearing Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, one
I
of
have
those
no
two. You
idea.
don't
No
have
idea.
to confirm or to.
I'm not allowed to yet. So,
I know, I know, I know.
I wanted to be able to make a product that can help more people,
Uh-huh.
and help them easier. So, like, for me, I'm a busy mom, and, like, when I go to I'm a little bit of a different scenario than most people in, like, suburbia because we have, like we buy a cow every year, and that's, like, what our meat is, and we have a CSA from the local farms, and, we do buy things from, like, Thrive Market or, like, Fresh Direct kind of vibes for, like, pantry items.
Yeah,
But most moms are going to, like a Target or a Whole Foods or a
yeah,
Trader Joe's, and they
yeah,
wanna get all their items in one place because it's easier.
yeah,
So I wanna make it easier for those moms and those dads that are shopping, to be able to get our items, and I also think we're at a price point where we are price accessible to most people in America. I think that, face serums are so expensive,
yeah.
and they really don't need to be. Our tallow also, we're $34.99 at grocery and 38 D2C, and that's obviously because of, like, everyday low value pricing, and with distribution. The ability to make sure that it's not something that people feel guilty buying and that it lasts a while. The whole gull math thing, which I actually think means you're smart when you're using gull math, it's not making you dumb, is like, this tallow balm is 34.99 and you're using it every day, twice a day. It's like literally like 25 cents kind of every time you're using it. So it's really
Yeah,
not that bad.
yeah. I love girl math.
Yeah. I hate when it like kind of makes women feel like they're like it kind of can make people feel dumb, but I don't
No,
really
it's
think it is.
just
It's just you rationalizing it a little bit quicker.
yeah, it's smart rationalization.
Yeah,
Okay, so you stumbled into retail. Retail has been growing. DTC is growing alongside it. You're on the cusp of this big announcement that will even like skyrocket wholesale even more.
yeah.
But if I hear you correctly, you are intent on keeping the DTC a part of the business, or is that
Oh,
something you're
100%. Yeah.
you're
So,
kind
I
of
mean, D2C, we're definitely pushing, we work with meta ads. We we do a lot through like our newsletter and our community growing that, but we also have a retail shop. So we are literally right next to the farmer's market that we started at. So you can see it from the window of
wow,
the shop, which I just think is super sweet and cute. And we actually allow like neighboring vendors that can't always get a spot at the farmers market because it is quite coveted because Hudson Farmers Market's where it's at. Um, they can pop up out front on Saturdays for free outside of my shop and outside of the lab because they're right next to each other. And that's just like something that brings traffic to my shop, but also brings people to get sales
Yeah.
as well from those businesses. And
Yeah.
in my shop, I don't just carry my own items, I carry mother-owned businesses as well,
Mhm.
and I carry vintage. So vintage is always changing. I was going to say you guys should do a pop-up at some point if you ever want to come to Hudson, but I'm sure people would really love it. But definitely
Oh,
do it
yeah.
in like the fall, because the the basic bitches are coming up to the Hudson Valley for the pumpkin picking and for the leaves changing. So like the weekend is so busy. And
Well noted.
this is our cute freight train that goes by.
Oh,
And it's actually on our packaging. So on our candle boxes, we actually have a train track. Um,
ah, amazing.
how cute.
Amazing. I'll listen. I will note the date down, and you just might see me in Hudson Valley come fall.
Yeah, why not? It's a work
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah.
But honestly, the Hudson Valley is really cool. It has a really good vibe to it. It's basically, people call it the antique gay city. That's like kind of the nickname for it, but really amazing antiques, like an amazing diverse community of people, and really amazing restaurants. And we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I more reasons than one for me to venture out.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so at this point in time, like obviously you have more insight into your customer data via DTC than via retail. That's safe to say, right? So when somebody buys from you online, like what happens next? What's the customer experience like? Is there a system behind that
Yeah,
or
so we have systems behind that. So we have, welcome flows, things like that. We also allow for like replenishment emails to go out,
Mhm,
when
mhm.
people need to maybe reorder. We are going to be launching subscriptions too. We just decided to not work with a subscriptions app. We're actually building it ourselves because you
AI?
really, yeah, well, my husband's an engineer, but honestly, Claude was able to build recharge for us basically in like 2 days. So anyone that's selling a SaaS product, I feel bad.
It's the apocalypse.
But
It's the
honestly, it's like
apocalypse.
$24,000 a year for a brand to use recharge. And you know what? I would way rather buy 24,000 jars than
Yeah,
pay for a SaaS
yeah,
tool that I don't
yeah,
need.
yeah. I'm building tools myself, yeah.
Yeah. So just so you know, and maybe he'll make it something that's just like open sourced so you can just use it too.
Ah, thank you.
But yeah, subscriptions also helpful. But we yeah, so the customer will get kind of like the welcome series. We have a blog, so they'll also kind of be introduced to the blog throughout a series of emails as well. And then what happens is our like head of logistics ends up packing the order, and it goes out pretty much same day, unless it's like a Sunday, because it doesn't go out on Sunday. And yeah, we are really close with all of our UPS and post service guys and women, and they get free soap and free gifts for their wives. So they love
Wow.
us, and they really help our business like run. And we send like little extra freebies and handwritten notes and things like that, and a lot of our D2C packaging as well. So I think people really like that like human aspect.
Yeah. It feels very intentional, well thought out, and it really feels like homey for lack of a better word. Now I know like you're very analytic as you said, so I'm sure you're keeping a close eye on those metrics. What do those numbers look like on the retention side? Um,
Yeah, so we have depends on the month, but between like a 28 to 32% reorder rate within 6 weeks.
nice.
So that's pretty good. Beauty is normally around 20. And then in terms of like our CAC or LTV, I mean, our CAC is anywhere from like 13 to $22 a month. Our AOV is about $109.
Oh wow. You
Our, our LTV is depends, but like a 6-month LTV is rising, but maybe like $168.
so you're profitable in other words. You're very
Yeah, everything is going really great. We are not profitable because we reinvest in the company, but
right.
we
Okay.
will be profitable this year but we want to buy this big giant machine, which will,
Unit economics are incredibly strong, I guess is what I'm trying to get
yes,
at, right?
our unit economics are great. But I also, I pay people a livable wage, and reward my team with, equity, as well. We became a C Corp. So I want to keep people that are going to help me grow this. And I'm not
Yeah.
someone that's like, this is all for me.
Hmm.
Um, because we're my neighbors and like it makes sense. But we're small. We only have three full-time people, and then we have fractional workers as well. So we have like a fractional COO, CMO, and CFO, and we have a grocery and beauty broker. They're two separate people. We have an ads person, a social media person that's like half time.
Yeah. So
So I
very,
mean,
very tight, but operationally dense
yeah, I
team.
mean,
It's not
we
much.
still have like a pretty like sizable capex. Like it's probably about $500 to $600,000 a year to run my business,
Hmm.
which is no small feat
Did you say 500 to 600K a year to run it?
to run it.
Wow.
Yes. And that's because we're investing in things that are going to help us hopefully be like north of like 15 million in
Mm-hmm.
2027.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like
And
in revenue.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Can I ask, how close or how far away from that are you? If you're willing to
We're
share.
not close now. We're at about a 2 million revenue
Gotcha.
for net for this year, but next year is way different in terms of like distribution. If the like forecast, like if we're going to be
If it pans out.
maybe upwards of $1,500 in 2027, and then with D2C naturally growing because of that launch, there'll be significantly more money.
So what kind of things are you doing right now to prepare for that? Because obviously more money, more problems. I'm
More
joking.
money, more problems. No, it's great. So
Because with increased
I'm
demand comes
buying a
increased constraints, right?
building. I'm
Buying a
buying a
building.
building, personally, not the business. So that's a little scary. But real estate in Hudson is really great in terms of there's still really great opportunities. And even if my neighbors sells at some point, like that piece of property will be very coveted for rent. So it'd be interesting to be kind of like a landlord. And so that's something that I'm preparing for. Hopefully we close kind of end of August, early September. And then like the PO that we're anticipating, or there's kind of like two POs, will most likely happen in November or October,
Mm-hmm.
for a March and February launch. So, it's preparing for that. But I've learned the mistake before where like you think a really big deal is happening and it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
So I don't actually purchase things like jars until the PO, like until I know the velocity and like there's a something
Yeah.
signed.
Yeah.
Because I had something happen in it was like late 2024. So it was like my company was only 6 months old, but we thought we were going to go into 534 stores. It was one store, but that many doors. And then
Yeah.
the buyer left to stay home with her little girl, and I'm like, good for you, but we basically just never heard from the company again.
Oh
Um,
man.
and I had actually made the decision to buy, I think it was 10,000 of each of the SKUs that they were going to take, which was okay because jars don't go bad.
Right.
And we've sold that now, like that's
Yeah.
okay. But
But it's still sitting capital.
it's still, it's something, it can be on your balance sheet. But it's not finished goods. So it's not something that you can like pull out with like PO financing kind of stuff, or not PO financing, but like when you look at you can pull capital sometimes from different farms with inventory. So like
Yeah.
whatever finished good you have, you can actually
Gotcha. Or against it. Yeah.
borrow against it. So it's just draws. It's not actually a finished good. So I mean, if we were ever in like a big pinch, we could do something like that where we just make a lot of product and it's in ambient storage and we're fine.
Yeah.
We really like to make things as fresh as possible, and um, we make and sell out our product like continuously. And now this newest space, we operate out of 1,000 square feet right now. We're moving into this bigger space, but we also have 5 storage units, so we like constantly have
Yeah.
to store.
1,000 is not a ton of space. 1,000
It's
square
really
feet.
not. But our new space is like 8,000 square feet,
8,000.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
And the storage units, they're great, but it's a little funny. Like we're like, which one is this thing at again? Like we got to
Oh.
go get more D2C packet like boxes because ours are all our D2C is actually like in beautiful boxes that you open it and it has our mission statement inside the box. And it's like a grassy field that's actually my back garden. So just like every kind of element of the brand we really want to make thoughtful. Yeah.
Awesome. So you're growing quickly. You have a small team. 2027 looks like it's poised for even greater growth. Where are you still the bottleneck?
Where are we the bottleneck?
You personally.
Where am I?
Where are you still the bottleneck?
I think that like sometimes when you're like, yeah, it's like being able to delegate certain things and like not like I still really want to be able to review everything that goes on social, even though I trust my social media girl with everything. She's amazing. Things like that where I should actually learn to just let go a little bit and be like, you've been doing this for a year and a half, like just go with it. Like show me your review once a week. Don't like I'll be like, oh, I recorded this video, can you post it? Like things like that where I should just be focusing at this point on like deal and design is kind of like what I should be focusing on. Also like I and my team can hear this because I actually have a rule where I actually have all my business meetings out loud.
Nice.
Podcast. So I want my team is young, they're under 25 years old. And I want them to have the opportunities that I didn't get to have at my last jobs where like I didn't get to say things in a room and didn't I didn't always get to hear those important calls. So I think the people managing side I don't love. And like HR stuff, like as we grow, I feel like I would love to have like that. But yeah, I think that that's challenging for me because I have this like need to please. So that's kind of a little bit of a bottleneck.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe it's like I love designing new things. So maybe just like staying in my lane and being like, sell through that SKU before you're like, let's launch 4 new lip balms.
Gotcha.
But I think it's good to be excited. And I think we're still growing at a rate where like it's okay to be like, okay, cool, we're going to test this SKU and it's only 5,000 units.
Gotcha. So operationally right now, you say you have like 4 full-time and then
basically,
like
I would say, yeah, I would say 4 full-time because our social media person and then like our designer would basically equate to 1 full-time person. And then fractional, we work with this amazing group. Definitely recommend it to any other female entrepreneurs called Evergreen. And they are a team of women that most of them are moms as well, but they've had like amazing executive positions before. But they're COO, CFO, and CMO, and also bookkeeping. So I made that investment in January, and it kind of scales from being about like $3,300 a month to now like $5,600 a month. But they are so amazing at keeping my business, like the things that worried me at night, which was like bookkeeping, which I was doing myself until January.
Right.
The tax stuff, the forecasting, that's been removed from my plate. But I also now have, and not to discredit my team at all, but I have people that have had really big careers being able to kind of like,
no, for sure,
it's a good idea. And I still really respect all of my staff's ideas too, but it's more like, hey, what do you think about the velocity if I order these lip balms? Like, do you think I should order them now? Do you think it's okay to spend 16 grand? And my CFO will be like, yeah, the velocity that you're doing right now, you should order it and you should order it now. And I think that honestly, with how things are going, you should order more. So being able to have like just a second check because sometimes, especially as like a postpartum mom, like I've kind of only just kind of got my like cognitive functioning back post stopping breastfeeding. And yeah, just being able to have someone kind of like, hey, like even my team now should be like, hey, you have a meeting. Just like, because I can be in so many different areas.
I listen, I want to give you your flowers on that. Like, so I'm a father of 3, right? So I have a 9, 7, and 5-year-old. And so obviously I didn't carry the babies, my wife did, right?
There's still a lot of work. Kudos to that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I just want to give you your flowers, being able to do this, and your Wilhelmina is 3.5 now, you said, right?
Yeah, and then I have Leonora, who I call Leo, and she's 9 months.
Wow. Yeah. Shout out to you. You're doing a phenomenal work. You're doing
Thanks,
phenomenal.
thanks.
I just wanted to like just quick aside and just
But
say that.
also,
So
like, just so you know, the team that I have here, like when Leonora was here since day 8, like if I was on like an investor call or I was on like a call with a buyer, like they're literally like, let me fucking change that diaper. Like no questions asked, like
thank you.
explosive. Like I think Una had like our head of production at one point, she was like, oh gosh, Leo had a blowout on my leg, but I'm like talking to
Oh,
the buyer. And she's like, it's like, we really are mother owned, but like
yeah,
these are all their aunties.
yeah,
And then we had one of my best friends worked for me part time, but her and her baby boy, who are like 2 weeks apart from Leonora and me, they were here for 6 months too, kind of until the baby started solids. And like that's a little bit, a little bit more difficult.
right.
So like they start moving. When they can go in a bassinet and like sleep a lot, it's a lot easier.
It's very helpful. Yeah.
But it got a little bit, a little too distracting at a certain point.
No, you're making it work.
Yeah.
That's what matters. So you have this tight team and you have this fractional
Yeah.
agency group
Yeah.
that's helping you. Are they involved in the strategic level as well as the executional level? Let's just look at DTC, for example, specifically when it comes to like the DTC channel, acquisition, retention, that whole thing. How
Yes.
deep do they get in that?
Yeah, so they're, the CMO and CFO, even the bookkeeper, they all have access to the Shopify, and like they are looking at that too. We do audits on everything. We do kind of like month-end check-ins, and like end of month kind of what's worked, what hasn't.
Yeah.
And they're on a call with me every Thursday, but we have like a Slack channel. So like they basically, anytime I have kind of like project work or things that we're looking at, we have things that are in place for every week that we do and every month. But we also have kind of ad hoc, like Lindsay, who's the founder of this agency, Evergreen, is working on like how do we become compliant for Canada and for the UK and Europe. So like that's like something that I wanted off of my plate and she's running with it. So
Gotcha.
kind of like more high level. And then kind of like as we've grown as a company and as we grow as a company, like I've had preliminary conversations about like, hey, like what if I needed you guys full time? So like those questions are out there too. And I think it just depend on,
Depends on specifically what it is. Got you.
for sure. Because I do
You
think
admit,
those roles would be full time at some point, like
right. Yeah.
and I love them. Like they've been such an amazing, like I was skeptical at first. She courted me for a long time, the founder, and like it's been amazing. It's been
Oh,
such a good investment.
yeah. You had mentioned a different, the customer journey starting with a welcome flow for those who are purchasing online, the DTC side.
Yeah.
Are there other parts of the customer journey that you're currently speaking to right now in terms of?
We have like abandoned checkout. We have
Gotcha.
we also, like even the customer on Instagram. So like we've adopted something called ManyChats. I don't know if you're using
Yeah,
that with your business, but it's honestly
we
pretty
are.
cool.
We are.
But yeah, to be able to like, as you grow your following, you want to be able to make sure that you can offer something like a discount to people that are coming in, but also make them feel appreciated. So,
Right.
anytime someone reshares something about our company, we send them like a thank you. We also have, we've also done snail mail before. So I don't know if you've ever done that, but the open rate for snail mail is like
Yeah.
98%.
Post. Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually, during January of this year, we sent everybody that had ordered from us at least 2 times in the year a discount code. And we actually, everyone in the team took home like 200 or 300 postcards, and we did them by hand.
Wow.
It was just like something we do like while people are like Netflixing at night, but it really made a difference. And it was really cool to be able to see those discount codes being used and people kind of like saved it because it didn't expire. But so I think doing more stuff like that too, maybe even having like a holiday catalog go out, I think that would be kind of cool. So that people can kind of see like the giftable items a little bit more.
Yep.
Because I think sometimes you sit in an abandoned cart flow for a while and then someone's like, oh shit, I forgot to order those. And then they order all their gifts.
Got you.
So I think making it just easier for the customer. We also haven't done anything yet with TikTok shop. So that's something that we want to focus on for 2027 too. But I kind of feel like I need like a dedicated person for that.
Person for that. I think you do. I think you're doing it's a lot to.
Yeah.
I think
But
your
I'm
team
like,
is.
I don't even use TikTok myself, so I'm just like, oh, I can't do that too.
Yeah, you've definitely got it. I
We
think
have
a
a
very.
TikTok like account and like we post to it. Our social media person posts it to it, but like we're really missing it in terms of like revenue on TikTok. Like, but honestly, setting up the shop is like a pain in the ass, and I just need to get it done. I'm That's a bottleneck.
I know some people I can put you in contact with.
Yeah, honestly, anyone at TikTok, if you have someone at TikTok that is actually a real person, hit me, like, give me that email address.
Okay.
I love that.
Okay, absolutely. I'll reach out and see if I can make that happen. You've been so generous with your time. I don't want to take
But
up
yeah,
too
it's
much
okay.
more. Um, Broad sweep. Let's think mistakes, challenges. What's the decision that cost you most? I know you mentioned earlier on you ordered 10 things expecting a PO to come in and never came in. But what are some other decisions that either cost you the
So
most?
I always like joke around about this one, but so Oprah's team found me at a trade show and they were like, "Hey, like we love this. Can you make a box with like two hand bombs, one key for the holidays for maybe her favorite things?" And I was like, "Yes." Cried, called my mom instantly. My mom's like OG Oprah fan, and like we were like an Oprah family when we were younger.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we loved it. Um, and I was like, "You get a tallow, you get a tallow, you get a tallow." Like saying it to my family. But so we designed the box in like 3 weeks. And we make all of our packaging here in the US by a company called Oliver Inc. because we really care about working with the US as much as possible. And they rushed it, they made it, it was beautiful. My husband delivered it to Oprah in the city, like the company. And we were like, oh, like I think we're gonna get it. So we had to order in time so that if she said yes, that we would have at least 4,000 units
Yeah.
for her favorite things. And so I ordered it and it was $45,000 for these boxes.
Mm,
'Cause they're linen keepsake boxes. And they loved it, but the price was too high. And they said no. And it's okay because
yeah.
boxes don't go bad. And we actually were smart enough that the insert of the box could be changed so that when
Hmm.
people want to do a Mother's Day set or the starter kit set or a hand bomb kit, we can make different iterations of it. And we've actually
Yeah.
sold so many of them now. So it's amazing. And they sell really well in the shop too. But
Hmm.
yes, every rejection is a redirection. And we actually were just featured in Oprah's favorite American items by surprise
Circle.
about 4 weeks ago for her lip balm. We were number 8. So, Oprah's still our girl. She just didn't
Yeah.
pick the
She's still
house.
looking out.
So hopefully, Magnolia Home is taking it. So like, it's all good. But I think that when you're making decisions like that, it's really smart to make sure that it's items that you could still sell anyway, even if
Hmm.
it doesn't go through. So don't make anything that's too specific for one customer. Like for us, we've been able to make like wraps that go around so we could make something for like Haven Well Within or Magnolia Home or for ourselves so that those items can be sold to multiple doors because you never know if you're going to get the deal to fruition sometimes, but also if that deal is going to stay. Like you can't put all your eggs in one basket because you just
Hmm.
don't know.
Hmm.
They could cancel you at any time,
Yeah, I
especially
was gonna ask you that earlier. What happens if Terrain pulls the order? Like, where does that leave your company?
well, we're okay. I mean, Terrain is like not a massive part of it anymore. Like they are an amazing account for us. But for example, I actually the buyer at Terrain has left that like I worked with and one of the other buyers is still there, but we do really well with them still. And I actually just helped her get another job that she wanted to get. So always wheels are turning. But she's gonna be working for my beauty broker, which is pretty cool. So she'll be kind of working with me, but on the other side, she'll be selling for me, which is kind of
Uh,
cool instead of buying. And I think that, yeah, I mean, I think always knowing that you can always move off of shelf is the reason why you need to continue to show up to new accounts too, but also just make sure that buyers get to know you. So for example, like we just went to Central Market because we launched in all the Texan supermarkets down there. And took my whole family. We demoed at like 7 different locations throughout Austin, Houston, and Dallas over 5 days. We did a road trip. Texas is awesome. People are great. But we also stopped by Waco because Magnolia Home is a great account for us. And so is this smaller boutique called Carpenter's Daughter. And just like really engaging with the buyers in person, saying like, hey, like we're going to be in town. We'd love to get coffee or love to come see the shop. Like it means so much more to me, but also to them when you're not just like a random SKU, you're a person and you're
Right.
a family and like they get to meet your family and we all took photos together. And I think just being a human, like the bigger deal that's happening with us in March, like we pushed for in-person pitch. They're like, oh, it's okay. We can do it online. I'm like, nope, I'm flying there.
Old school.
You're going to see me in real life and you're
Yeah.
going to like me more because you actually get to know me and I'm a person.
Oh, you're such a
So,
good
yeah.
you're such a good salesperson. I see I see why you were going. You're
Yeah. But I mean, it matters. Like, I think that
yeah,
we're often missing like that just normal human connection at this point because we're all kind of like
absolutely.
living behind a screen.
But it's always different in person. Yeah, I know that to be true. I know that to be true. Individuals who you've been building a relationship with, whether it's publications, it's
People
just
can change your whole life, it's
yeah. Yeah, it's very different talking online versus seeing in person. And like, oh, I felt like we've been talking for the last year or two, but all of a sudden I see you in person and it just seems that much more real.
Yeah,
Right?
I had a really awesome experience. My ads person, Salima, she's like an amazing founder. She, she's probably spent like $150 million on ads. She's incredible. Sustain and Grow Digital is the company, but we just met for the first time. We've been walking together for a year and a half in Houston because that's where she lives. So like we all went to barbecue together with like my husband and kids and my staff that were there and her kid and her husband. And it was like, just so nice. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we
It's just,
talk every week on Zoom, but like it was real.
yeah. I love that. Okay. Two more questions. Wilhelmina is the reason that this exists, right? How does it feel as the business is clearly growing beyond just solving a problem for her? What's that like being on this side now?
I think that just being able to like help as many people as possible has been really great, but also like she's my little muse. I also think that, we live in an age where I don't really want my kids on social media too.
Mm,
So I think that being able to grow this brand to be something that's just better for everyone and not necessarily need to have my children's photos, like what the brand kind of originally was.
yeah.
That's been a really interesting thing to navigate. I've also like we're about to potentially raise money and a lot of the investors are like, we want your, social media to be a public thing because people really want to like get to know the founder. And that's tough for me because I have a private account because of my children and their
Yeah.
safety. So it's just navigating those things too.
Yeah.
And my
Trying to
husband,
stay founder led, but still
I'm
be,
founder led, but like I don't necessarily need to like have my kid like my kid's feet can be in the ad, but like
yeah.
her little cute face doesn't need to be in it anymore because of just how everything's happened with tech. It's tough.
Tell me about it. Tell me about
I
it.
know.
What fear, if any, sits is underneath all of this that you're doing that you maybe don't say out loud?
What fear?
Fear. Is there one?
I definitely have fears. I have fears of like, of like we have a day where we like didn't do that much in sales. I'm like, oh God, like is this the end of it? Like, but like I think that I think I would have more fear not trying
Mm,
and just like I think that would kind of haunt me more. So like people are so supportive of like, wow, like you freaking like are working your ass off. Like good for you. Like you literally and it's so amazing. Like we had our first like we had a 6-figure Black Friday last year. And that was the first time I ever paid myself. I
wow.
wrote myself my first paycheck and I've continued to been able to do that. It's not a lot, but I pay myself. Um, and it I think the whole like concept of being like, wow, literally every single one of these packages are going to someone for Christmas or for Hanukkah or for whatever holiday or birthday, like it's so amazing that something that I just made at home is now
Right.
something that someone is wanting to give to someone. And I
Right.
sometimes have to like stop myself from thinking about the next big thing, that the next big deal that I'm going to get, and just remember like the fact that one person wants to buy it today is still fucking amazing.
Matters.
And it matters.
It matters
And the
significantly.
4 a.m. email I get from the quirky mom that's like, I haven't slept in weeks and now my freaking baby is sleeping. Or just like the funny thing about like, I have one mom that messaged me being like, I just love how much more my cat loves me now because of the tallow on my skin. And I'm like, it's like hilarious. But like those things like make it so much real, like so much more real.
Yeah. Yeah. And you never know where it's going to go. You never know the story of each individual and how this specific product is going to impact their lived existence, right?
For sure. I
It's
think that
such an
I worry occasionally of like, oh my gosh, like, I've done a friends and family round and I'm like, I need it to be like as successful as possible because these are my friends and family's money. But like they've also invested because they believe in me. And like it's a friends and family round for a reason. And like the amount of growth that we've seen anyway, they're like, this is amazing. So like chill out and stop being like harsh on myself
yeah.
and just
No, listen.
continue to do it.
Yeah,
Tough.
as a brand owner, I definitely I
Yeah.
relate to that myself. You're
Right.
constantly
You're
thinking
like,
about the next benchmark. And is there anything you would do differently if you were to go back to your kitchen in fall 2023?
I don't know, because I think all the things that have, like, gone wrong have really, like, helped me become the founder that I am. Um, I think I would probably have a rule that is, don't place the PO till you get the PO, like, in terms of the jar thing. 'Cause that was, like, a little, like, "Ooh." And also just be really careful in terms of, like, trademarking and stuff like that, like, pay for the lawyer stuff upfront. It might sound scary, but pay for a real person, don't try and do everything yourself because it really complicates things.
Yeah,
So
even with AI and Claude.
yeah, like use use a trademark lawyer because there's so many scams
Yeah,
and it's worth it. Like you're gonna pay $4,000 to get your trademark with a lawyer and they're gonna tell you everything that's fake that comes through the mail. That's like you need to pay this immediately because your trademark is like not gonna happen. Those are scams and they've happened. Um, so yeah, just for people to kind of know that.
thank you so much. You've been so generous with your time. Where can people find you?
So we are online at myneighbors.co, and we are on Instagram at myneighbors.co. And yeah, that's it for right now. So we're on our website and our Instagram and our TikTok. They're all the same thing. And on LinkedIn, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to hit me up on that too, go for it.
Excellent. You have been listening to The Margin Room, and I have been speaking with Harri Magaldi of My Neighbors. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks.